Welcome back, guys. This is the third React.js video. So I hope all of you completed the assignment I gave. So how to display more than one line of content in your code. So there are multiple approaches. You can use React Fragment. This is the best way. Let me write it. If we'll write it inside a div also, it will work. Okay. So one wrapper. Okay. But if I can use React suggest to use React Fragment. What is React Fragment? This is a simple syntax, nothing, like just keep open and close uh, brackets, less than sign, greater than sign, you can say, and this is the closing. This is just a wrapper. Okay, so this is called React Fragment. Okay, and guys, like once you have added the fragment, it is called JSX, because that is why this is powerful. Don't call it as a simple HTML, otherwise it will feel, JSX will feel bad. Okay, because JSX is something that have the power. Okay, inside HTML you cannot write JavaScript, right? But JSX having the power, it can execute JavaScript. If I'll write here some JavaScript code, 2 plus 2, you can see how it will behave. It is 4, but normal HTML cannot do the manipulation. So this is a JSX, guys. Once you have like anything you are writing inside React, it is a JSX. Okay, inside the component. Okay, so I hope you understand what is JSX. We will learn more. Okay, as we will going forward, whatever we will use inside your JavaScript, I'll tell you. Okay, let's come to the next point. Last time I told like how I'll see, this is a single page application. You need maintainability. Okay, you need to maintain some standard coding standard. So you cannot write everything inside your main file, which is index.js. So here you cannot write everything. Okay, then what you will do, you have to write component for that. Okay, how you will write component? Let me write a component first. Okay, so already you will see, that is why I have not deleted this app.js. So we can write a component like this, but I will tell you how and why this type of component. Guys, this is a functional component, latest, like based on the latest React version. Functional component got introduced in maybe 16.8. I am not so sure, guys. Let's see, it should be 16.8, correct. So after 16.8 we are using functional component, okay, instead of class component. So there are a lot of advantages of functional component, and there are also limitations of functional component as well, but still it is better, and React suggests us to use functional component. Let's see what is the difference. And now our current React version we are using, that is 18.2. I have shown you in the package.json what is the React version. You can see it here, 18.2.0. okay, so let's see the difference between functional component and class component. We have two component, class components and functional component. It will tell like how to create a class component. It will be used class keyword and extends, like like if you know object oriented technology, OOPS concept, there is extend and implements. Like if you extend inherited from a class, you have to use extends, otherwise if you interface, you have to do implements. Okay, so here this is react.component is a class, so you have to extend it, like your new class is car, and inside the render function you have to do all these things. Okay, but in function component it will do not do all these stuff. Okay, simple created a function with function prototype and give the function name. Okay, now we are using, after ECMAScript we are using the arrow function. Okay, so this is simple, like, and return the value, whatever HTML you want, you just return it. Okay, then rendering, I already told React DOM.create root how to render. Okay, so we'll basically see what is the difference. Okay, this is how to create. Okay, but understanding the difference is very important. So the difference of functional component and the newly class component, we'll see what is the difference. Okay, So here it is mentioned in comparison to functional component, class component are more complex. Yeah, this is correct, guys, because you have to write a class and you have to follow the complete object oriented concept, where in the functions you have to be specific. Whatever you will do, it will like more like easy, because you have to just write a function prototype and just you need to return. You must develop a render method that returns a React element by extending from this. Already we saw like this is how to create. Due to their ability to contain or manage states, class component are also known as stateful component. Yeah, guys, this is very important point. Like here, in class component, we have to like this is stateful component, because we have to like maintain a state. But in functional components, we can achieve everything through like state management. We can do through hooks, which is also introduced after this functional components, and like we can do the we can pass the props. So it is like your class component is stateful and stateless, like functional component. Okay, the life cycle of a class component is accessible through specific callback APIs, which are also provided access to each life cycle event. Okay, the basic advantages of functional component is, guys, hooks. So here is the definition. Okay, so in class component, you are like must build a render function that returns a React element when creating a render function by class component, as I told. And here, simplest definition of a functional component: a simple JavaScript pure function takes a argument called props and return a React JSX. Okay, functional component do not use render method, because like already we have used the render method in create root, and here it is mandatory to use a render and it should return. When a function is returned, it can no longer be maintained, because the functional component works on the top from top to bottom. Yes, so like it the execution process of a functional component, it's always top to bottom. I mean, it will be top to bottom means the first line will be executed first, the last line will be executed last. As I told, like it is also stateless. Okay, and this is vice versa, guys. I mean, like the class component is like different lifecycle method. Okay, and it is also the class component performance is little lagging compared to functional component. That is what React is also demanding. Okay, the logic and states, they are known as the stateful component. The class component also use React lifecycle methods. Example, component did mount, component on mount, etc. We'll learn it later. It cannot use the React lifecycle method such as component. So lifecycle method we are not using in functional component. That is why to make functional component stateful, hooks can be used. Already we have discussed. Here, like you have to like implementation of component requires syntax. Okay, so this is the use of props. There is no use of construction, obviously, like as we are not using class, we don't need construction constructor. And here as you, since the state needs to be stored, constructor are utilized. Okay, so the functional component are more efficient. I told you, like React is claiming, yeah, functional components are more powerful. Okay, and performance wise it is better. Class component is lagging here. Okay, functional component require few line of code, guys. Yes, this is correct. If you see the syntax of class component and functional component, let me go to here, components, we saw it somewhere. You see, to write a class component, we have a render function, this. Okay, and here just 2 lines of code. And in ECMAScript 6, I can, if I use map function, I can write this code in 1 line also. Okay, so this is the power of arrow function. I'll show you how to write arrow function. Okay, so in 1 line we can do that, but this is 1 2 3 4 5 at least. Okay, in complex code it will go in a long way. That is one. Like, so React is claiming we have to use functional component because of its efficiency and the lifecycle methods. So I'm closing this article. Like, you can find out the own article from Google, and you can read if you want to know the more differences. But the main difference is React is claiming functional components are powerful, and you have to use functional component based on the latest React version. And there are more important thing is functional component allow you to use the hooks. Okay, so which is important, and like due to hooks it makes our life easy in React. Okay, after this we'll learn like what is props, how to passing props, then we'll learn hooks directly. Okay, let's come to the point now. So we are in app.js. So this is a functional component because we are using the functional keyword. So this is as I need the CSS, let assume I do not need any CSS. Okay, so simple, this is a functional component, guys. Write a function app, return this. Okay, export default app, because if I am not exporting this function I can use in this same file only, I cannot use it outside. If you want to use this app function outside of your component, you have to export. If there are one component, you have to do export default. If there are multiple component, only one component you can do default and others you can do only export. Okay, in one file also you can write multiple functions. Okay, but in one file like one component you write, then only the first component like which will be default you can mention, and other all are you have to do export. So export default means you can use it anywhere you want. Okay, so how you will use it when you need it. Okay, so in index.html, okay, let me delete these two lines. Why not select? Okay, I deleted. Okay, so here I import, I told na I exported it there, that is why I am importing the app is here, and inside this also I have to, once this app is there, this app, okay, I can copy this and I can use it in a element tag. That is the power. Okay, it can be a self-closing tag, or you can write app/app as well, like this you can do, or you can do like this, app, correct, like this, anything is fine. Okay, so let's comment it out. Okay, commented it out. Let's see, instead of I need to write hello world, right? So same hello world I can write it here now. Okay, if I just want to write more than one line, okay, I need React fragment. Okay, I'll copy this. Next class we will just install the React ECMAScript 7 library, so that it will be easy for me to type the coding, because without the library it is rendering. Okay, so just do proper indentation, guys, because this is just not a big thing. If you do not learn it from here, if you leave just run application, then this will be bad habit and it will be with you for lifelong. So don't do that, just do a proper indentation everywhere. So you write this hello world. If I just let me show. Okay, now hello world is coming here, and here if you'll see I have already removed it from the index.js. There is nothing, only app. Like in app.js, if I want the second line, as I told, like here how many lines you want, whatever code you want you can write. Inside h1 I can write 5 plus 5, 5 plus 5. Okay, so let's see, it's 10. Okay, so you can see the output we got, it is like compiled, because this is the power of JSX. Okay, so this is our app component. Now we learn how to use other components inside your like any other components, like index.js is your first place, but if you need a second component, you can create your second component and you can render it in the app component. We'll learn it in the next class, but here I'll tell you one thing, like what is the use of components, why we are having components, like just see, understand this. like now suppose this is one text, I want to display these two lines 100 times. Okay, so every time I am not going to write a component, right? So I can reuse it. That is the the plus point of having component, and keep the code in a separate place. So 100 times you need, you call it 100 times. Okay, so if you'll see like this hello world and all, I need to display 5 times, then I can do like this. Okay, I told you can show like this. Let's try with 3 times. Okay, so 4 5 5 1 2 3 4 5 I wrote. This is self closing, self closing, self closing, self closing, and this is open and close 5 times, just to show you. Let me do indentation properly so that it will be easy for you. Correct, you understand now. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, let's save it out. It's run. I can see hello world 10, hello world 10, hello world 10, hello world 10. If I remove 10 10 10 from everywhere, then simple I can go into the component, I delete this line, it will remove the 10. Okay, hello world, hello world, hello world 5 times. So I do not need to write all these codes again and again. I can reuse the component. Okay, inside your this. Okay, so this is like today we learn, like to summarize what we learn how to render components in your index.js, your fast component, and what is the use of component, what is the difference of your functional component and your class component. This is the interview question, guys. That is why I am repeating again and again the difference between functional component and class component. You have to remember React 16.8 above version allows 16.8 and above version allowing functional component. React is claiming functional components are way better and the performance really better compared to class component. It is stateless because of the hooks, use of hooks. It is very much powerful. Unlike your class component, it is never using that lifecycle methods. Okay, but we'll learn lifecycle methods because we will compare the lifecycle methods to hooks while learning, because it is important to know the, as I told, legacy version and the new development version, so that it will like later if like there is something comes between legacy and dev. Okay, so you don't know what will come at time, so like that will help you out. Okay, so you have to remember this create root method, all these things I told. Along with that, we have covered like this React fragment. If someone will ask what is React fragment, you can do. And what is JSX also we told. JSX something like you are using in like in React. So JSX having power to use JavaScript inside HTML with a pair of curly braces, as I told you. Okay, so don't call it HTML anymore, because you already started writing like your first application. I hope all of you will do well in React. So the assignment for the next class is you have to create a third component. Okay, so this is app.js. You have to create something. Let me tell you the name. Something message.js. Okay, in message.js you have to write a static value, your name, and you have to display that hello world your name there. Hello world, you will pass it from the second and use it in the third. So this is basically prop passing. Just try it out, guys. If it is not working, then we will do it in the next class. Okay, so if you like this video, then subscribe us and do like, comment, and just keep motivated us for the further videos. Thank you.